live studio audience.
Yes. Let's go. What's up, bro? We got a podcast in the metaverse, bro.
yeah. Who knew that this is what it was all building up to through the entire first season? And now we are here kicking off season 2 with all of you guys, a live studio audience.
Let's go. Every Tuesday.
A podcast. We didn't even know what was happening. We were 15 episodes into this.
It seems to be helping and impacting a lot of people. We'll see you every Tuesday on the Well MetaVerse podcast. Peace.
Easy. I don't know why I chuck deuces. Like I don't chuck deuces. What was that?
Hello, TrainerCal. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, yeah, doing great. How are you?
I am well, man. I am looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this since we decided to do it like 20 minutes ago. No.
Yeah, definitely. At the very last minute.
Yeah, man, this is so cool. Thank you for stepping in for Jason. He is traveling. He's on the road, and we thought that this would be a super cool opportunity to connect with you and have you not only as our featured guest for the recorded portion of this, but have you as our honorary co-host. So thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who's watching. Dean, hey guys, good to see you. And Kimberly Ann's in the house. Woo! Yeah. This is cool. This is great. You know, my favorite part leading up to this was when I was like, okay, we're going live in 30, 29, 28, and you're like, oh, my dad's FaceTiming me. So shout out to TrainerCal's dad.
Trainer dad.
Trainer dad. All right. Yeah. Joanna Young in the house. Joanna, that is Solaris 30. For those of you who don't know, she is the lead architect builder extraordinaire in the Soapstone. And her and Inspire have also helped with Jason Earls Productions and a whole bunch of other stuff. Kimberly Ann was smiley face. Is that a blushing smiley face? Is that? Yeah. So this is cool, man. So where are you coming to us from?
Oh, from a small place called the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom.
United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I could get into more detail, but a lot of people assume London from then. But to break it down more, from a place called Portsmouth. I believe you guys stole that place from us as well. I've heard Jason, I believe, is from there, actually. But yeah, from a place called Portsmouth, if you guys know it.
Yeah, now that was kind of funny, right? You heard Jason say that he was from Portsmouth.
Yep. And I was like, whoa. Hang on a minute. I've either missed something or our accents are very different.
Yeah, super cool. Well, and that's a nice setup you got there. You got a couple guitars behind you there?
I do, yeah. I that one's a new addition. Nearly came off the wall. I didn't put wall plugs in. I thought, do you know what? I'll brave it. Screw. Guitar.
Oh,
yeah. So I should have known better, because this one, which is lighter, needed wall plugs as well. The setup's cool. Like I'll show you again just before. Like I love my, you can see us. Hi guys. I love my setup, and as a teacher that works from home, I need that setup, and because I like my tech.
Dude, that is a baller setup. Was that 3 curved monitors?
It's one big curved 49-inch monitor, and then yeah. By the way, I must add, the heaviest monitor in the world. Like it took 2 people to carry it up my stairs.
Oh, you're kidding me! Wow,
I'm not kidding, not kidding.
Yeah.
It was more for the fact it's so delicate as well, where the transport had to be. We had to carry it carefully in case somebody broke it. My dad thinking it curved, thinking, can we just not flatten it out more? I was like, no, please do not flatten my monitor. So yeah,
you just got to iron that out. That's
exactly.
We've identified the problem. This monitor is curved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Dean here is from Blackpool.
Ooh, Blackpool. Yes.
Yeah. You probably have a better idea of where that's from or where that is than I do.
I do, yes. It's the other end. It's at the top.
It's at the top. Okay,
it's at the top. Yeah, it's the best way to explain it.
Mr. Crowley, what's up to you? Good to see your face, or at least your little picture of your face there. Yeah, good stuff, man. So I know we were talking before this got rolling about you. Now you're in a city, but you're in the suburbs. You're only 2 minutes away. Tell me about that.
So I think it's because we're so densely populated over here. It's probably the reason why. But I was saying to yourself, like, I literally am a 2-minute drive from the city, but I live in the middle of nowhere. So for some of you guys, you might see it as the countryside or a village. But yeah, 2 minutes out of my estate and I'm in a city center, and 10 minutes, if I go 10 minutes, I've reached 3 cities. So,
yeah. And again, when I think of cities, I can't think of any place that would be 2 minutes away from the city that's not the city. Yeah. It says South Philadelphia. That is a city, and yeah. And again, I probably know where that is a little bit closer than you do. So this is cool, man. This was a neat episode because you have been involved in this. You've been really a big part of launching this in the metaverse, and then to be able to have you on as a guest, and then now to have you as the co-host and guest. This is just cool. I love it when things come together. As you know, in the Soapstone, like, we are here to empower leaders. We're here to encourage people towards the spotlight, and we're here to share what we're learning. And I feel like we're doing all of those things right here together. So thanks for being a part of this, man.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you. You gave me the opportunity, and I'm just pleased about it. So yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, you know what? We'll come back and we'll talk more like this, but let's get this thing started, shall we?
Hell yeah.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's happening, dude?
Jason, man.
Dude,
there we go.
How'd you get so tall, brother?
Is this
You're growing
right?
and shrinking at the same time.
Right. Man, you guys can't really see this out in the audience or watching online, but Jason back there in the wings, as we're getting ready, like, man, he's got full on groove going. It's all happening. And I look over and I can't help but to dance, and man, all right.
Let's just say, dude, you're an amazing dancer. Slightly off a beat, tad. I'm just...
That's fair. So you're saying this is a pretty good rendition of real life, then? Oh, we lost you. You're coined. So I'll just say welcome everybody to the podcast. Actually, this is so much more than a podcast now. We're recording here in front of a live studio audience, and then we replay the video from this, and we jump into live Q&A via a live stream. So we do that on Tuesdays at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. And of course, today it's 11 o'clock on Friday Eastern. Hey, welcome back, Jason.
Oh, thanks, man. I had to pee. I'm just playing. I don't know what. Yeah.
I thought we were going to start selling Jason Earls commemorative plates.
Dude, I want to say, man, I just want to shout out our audience, man. I'm seeing a lot of new faces, some, some faithful faces, and I just want to say, man, I appreciate every last one of y'all showing up
For sure,
here, man. It's pretty awesome, man. I can start calling names, but then I'll miss somebody, and we had to edit that in. So I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart and from the top of Aaron's heart, we appreciate y'all.
In the middle of
Where
our
did that come
hearts.
from? what's at the middle of his heart? Like, where did that come from? Like, the bottom of my heart. Isn't that the last little bit? Like, isn't that leftovers?
Right.
From the bottom of my heart. Yeah. Anyway,
Man,
dude,
how's your week going?
The last
Dude, week's been great. Just, dude, the beauty of vacationing with no and just a few scheduled fun things. The way that clears the mind is absolutely amazing. Just how that clears up your mind, just to be able to think clearly, no stress, write new jokes that just come to you, to dream some. That stuff is absolutely amazing. And not just that, before my wife Terry and the kids, it strengthens the family unit like nobody's business. So because you just had vacation.
You just hit on something so important there, and that's white space that doesn't have anything filled in, just space to be creative, space to enjoy each other's company. There's space to do that without agenda or without focused objectives. That's
absolutely
so
and typically
important.
I thrive better in black space than white space.
Hey-o.
It's all beneficial, man. You got to be able to, diversify your space.
Diversify that space.
So you're 2-3 weeks off of family vacation. You and your family did some pretty amazing, whitewater rafting. Now looking back, how has that impacted your family? Like, are y'all a little bit more fresher?
So, okay, you're exactly right. Because we were talking about that space to just hang out and spend time together, but doing new and exciting things together, that's just as important too. Yeah. I mean, to just have that adrenaline rush, and there were some pretty scary moments during that, but that brought us together just as good too.
Yeah, that's so good. So dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about this whole metaverse thing is that I've connected with a lot of you all, the audience members, connecting at the Soapstone Comedy Club. And dude, I found, even while I was on vacation, I was wondering how some of my metaverse friends were doing. It's crazy. It's like, I hadn't talked to them in a week. I wonder how they doing.
I'm the same way, and especially with like the Team Soapstone Facebook group and the different chat groups that we have. Like, I yearn for that interaction. It's important to step away, but it also shows how valuable it is when I miss it when I'm gone, just like you're talking about.
Absolutely. You understand, it's like whenever there are human beings interacting with human beings, whether that's in the metaverse or in the reality of the world, there's this exchange that happens with human beings where relationship equity value is changed. And when that happens with human beings, it's like, man, people deposit positive stuff in your life. You're like, yo, I want to go. Somebody if you like laugh with somebody a lot, like as we might do here in the metaverse, when you're away from that, you're like, yo, some of that value or those deposits that were being made has ceased for a moment. I hope they're doing well. And I can't wait to come back here and check up on people. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that, checking in with our friends of the metaverse, why don't we take a quick break, go to the seats, and then bring up our guests for the day?
Let's go. Oh, okay. Oh, this is my favorite metaverse dance right here.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hell
Man. And I'll tell you what, as Jason is talking there about that feeling of missing the metaverse and missing the interaction and missing the friendships. I know I have definitely experienced that when I have some time away. Have you run into that yourself?
Do you know, I have, and
I so thought you were going to say no, not at all.
it's probably the correct answer if the wife's hearing that, because it's she'll get home from work, I'll be on the Oculus, and she'll be like, "Oh, okay," and that's it. Like, I feel like I'm turning into my character more. Like, even the confetti thing. Look, it's just it just happens now. Like,
wait, are we in VR? I can't see your legs.
Exactly, we are.
Speaking of that, Robert Earls, which I believe is Jason's dad, says, "Where are your legs?" He was watching that. So, man, Robert, I do think that this is Jason's dad here that made this comment, and man, your son is a blessing to this whole operation and everything. He is such a good dude. I've got such admiration and respect for him. Good job there, Dad. You got a good one.
For sure.
Yeah. So this is cool. Yeah, going through some of that conversation leading into it. Yeah, there's a couple of the things that came up there. Spending the time with the family. And making sure that there's focus time, whether that's doing nothing or going on an adventure together. That's just so important.
It is. It really is. Like I say, if it's just sat on the same sofa, maybe even looking at your phones, but you're spending time with each other nonetheless, or going for that walk, or I could walk 5 minutes to the city if I walk.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, well, good stuff. Well, we've got our next segment here. We're moving over to the couches and getting rolling. And then we got a guest. We got a special guest who pops in. I wonder if, let's see if you'll recognize him.
Bring it back. Okay. Oh, dab on him. That is an old dance.
You can't see it, but my hips are shaking right now.
Give me your top 3 genres of music that you like.
Top 3. Well, this is gonna blow your mind because it's a pretty wide range. I love some old school heavy metal, like Pantera, Metallica, like that. Anything fitting in there. And then I like bass guitar, heavy jazz.
Yeah.
Like a little Victor Wooten, little Marcus Miller. Some of that. Yeah, that's really good stuff. And then I really like the chill step, just the beat heavy. That's just kind of background music, like you hear in a coffee shop, something like that. I'd say those are my 3 favorite. What are your 3 favorite?
Dude, my first top is in particular some 90s hip hop R&B. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's number 1. Second would be some funk. Talking James Brown, George Carlin, and Funkadelics. My favorite band is Fred Wesley and the JBs. I love that. And then my other genre would be I gotta combine them. And so I would say some Black gospel music as well as contemporary Christian music. Like those are the 3. And then in a close 4th is classical music. So my iPad, my Apple Music is super diverse, man. Kind of like my space.
You
white
talk
space,
about
black
that.
space, brown space.
You talk about that fusion or that.
All right, I got to jump in. What's your favorite type of music there?
I'm with Jason with that. I'm very diverse. I'm open to all sorts of music. Like, music's an art to me, so I appreciate every kind of music, from heavy metal to classical to R&B to pop, hip hop. I love it all. I really do. But
nice.
Yeah, people would look at me, they'd say I was born in the wrong generation sometimes as well. Like, I'd be listening to maybe a bit of Frank Sinatra. You know, I like the old stuff as well, but I'd say I'm going to be, I'm definitely going to say I have no top three.
Dennis says that he's seen Sinatra, Tom Jones, also has seen Metallica, Guns N' Roses. He's been to For King and Country, Chris Tomlin, and we are messenger. Boy, he is all over the place. Oh, UK girl.
Ooh, UK girl.
She's in here. She was in singing the other day in the Soapstone. That was good. I love it when people face their fears, know that sometimes they're going to come up against a crowd that, that is, entertain us, and
yes,
and UK girl, big shout out to you for being who you are and performing in the Soapstone. But
definitely,
yeah, I'll tell you the common thread, between all of the different kind of music is really the face that the bass player makes when he's playing. It needs to be that dirty diaper face.
Yes,
like that's if you look at the bass player and he's got the dirty diaper face, then it's good music. All right, here we go.
At Mesh, and there was a worship leader here in the Grand Rapids area named Ken Reynolds, and like, man, he'd play some bass that was just incredible, and he put together this song called "Does Anybody Here?" and does anybody here want to praise the Lord with me? And he actually brought Victor Wooten out to lay a bass track down on that. And I listened to that thing so many times.
Victor Wooten's got the dirty
so
diaper
good,
face.
so good.
What's the name of it? Can I, is it, I can download it?
Yeah. The guy's name is Ken Reynolds. And, yep, you can find him. And, the song was "Can Anybody Hear?" And because I think the "Praise the Lord with Me" was in parentheses, but and it's the version with Victor Wooten playing bass. It's tight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I met Victor Wooten one time. Victor.
We went to high school together.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Man.
That's what my uncles do. My uncle would always say that whenever I name somebody, like, but I knew his mama. I know the boy's mama. We went to high school together.
Man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, you know what? Let's bring up our guest today, shall we?
Dude, I'm super excited about this particular guest, man. I'm gonna let you let's intro together. I'll start it and you finish it, man. But this dude is, man, probably one of the most encouraging guys that I've met in the metaverse. Every time we have a conversation, this dude just encourages me, not even intentionally, but just that we have. He probably doesn't even know that he encourages me so much. Dude brings great value to anybody around him, and he hails from my hometown, but not exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good description of him. I know this guy has come into the Soapstone and immediately become part of the leadership and become part of the culture in the Soapstone. When we brought in the United Kingdom here to Horizon Worlds, he has really helped with that transition and making sure that people from another culture can come in and not only be welcomed in there, but also be able to adjust and adapt the culture to make it ours instead of to make it all of ours instead of a U.S. culture that welcomes the UK. It really needs to be a mesh.
Right. And if you've been watching the season 2 of MetaVerse, this dude is a faithful question asker.
Every time he asks a question. So now we get to ask him a couple questions. So come on up, TrainerCal. Come on up and join us.
Yes. Well, come on. TrainerCal's in the building. Okay, let's go. Jump,
Yeah. Jump around. Crisscross will make you jump.
I'm not so good at the jumping side of things. I think it's the legs. It doesn't help. Look at this beautiful audience we have as well.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. This is great to look out
sure.
and see everybody here hanging out, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to some Q&A. But first, man, how'd you get into Horizon World?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I joined. I've only been an Oculus user for about 5 months now. And the real reason for buying it is because I love technology so much. I wanted to diverse into the world of virtual reality. And unfortunately for us in the UK, not much was available. We had Horizon venues, which was cool. I could see Foo Fighters up really close and somebody standing in my personal space screaming their songs, which was great. Absolutely loved it. My wife would insist I download Roller Coaster VR quite a lot, so we could just sit on the end of our bed going, wee, wee. And I'm not going to lie, the first time I nearly hurled. I was like, oh, this is making me queasy. I got to stop. It was good. But then we got the invite to this place, and the first place I joined, fortunately for me, I got my apartment straight away, Lolly. I'm sorry. I ended up in this apartment place. And I was like, wow, this is cool. The detail. And I ran upstairs. There was guns I could shoot, a dartboard. I was like, this is better than my home. Like, why didn't I buy this house? And then I stepped into the Soapstone for the first time. And honestly, the first time I joined, there was no one in there, Aaron. I'm sorry. But that is because of my time zone. That is because I was probably one of the first people from the United Kingdom to be on that silly o'clock in the morning. You guys would be catching your Zeds, getting some well-deserved sleep. And I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna give it another go 6 hours later. 6 hours later, I came in. There was people left, right, center, on stage, in the booths, having a laugh. And I was like, this is a piece of me. This is what I would love to do.
Wow.
And it's not common. It's not common in the UK. We have these stand-up comedy clubs, and to go to one that we see on TV, especially in American series that I watch, it's like, wow, I feel involved. And that was the minute I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of this place. And yeah, that's how I become where I am.
Wow, man.
That's cool.
I can't tell you what that means to me to hear, because you just said something that is the whole point behind the Soapstone. You said become a part of this place. And man, that's what it's about. Like, if you look at that yellow notepad in the back on the table, there's only 3 things we're trying to do. 1, we want to empower leaders, which is what you're talking about. Giving people the opportunity to step up and lead. 2, we want to encourage people towards the spotlight. We want to have that stage. So we got pros, Jason's performed there. We got that level of performer, but I want everybody to be able to get their piece of the spotlight in there. And then finally to share what we're learning, which is a big part of what Jason and I are doing through this show. It's been huge. But man, I'm so happy that you found the Soapstone, and then I'm so happy you decided to become a part of the Soapstone. That means the world to me.
Yeah, thank you.
And you and Jason have developed a really good relationship quickly, right, Jason?
Indeed, yeah.
Absolutely. Man, I think about one. I remember when I was so excited, like somebody else from another country was here. I was like, hey man, did you see the Soapstone sign that says welcome our UK friends? He's like, dude, I saw it 18 times right now. But one thing, why this really excited me, because man, growing up, we would always sing this song in church. It like, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Like that was like the #1 hit of all time. But really, I didn't know what it meant. Like, all I knew was that it meant that I was supposed to somehow be light and brighten up other people's day. As I got older, I realized like the next one, another part of it says, okay, however I'm supposed to let my light shine, I'm not supposed to hide it under a bushel. It's supposed to be as loud or shine as bright as it can. And when I met you, to see that we had that connection, and I'm like, man, right now through the metaverse, I'm allowing my light to shine in the UK. Like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And then how when we met, you said that you watched some of my comedy stand-up clips on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube page, by the way. But the fact that you watch my comedy clips shows that, man, here I am with my ability, gift, and talent of doing stand-up comedy. I now have some people who are checking my stuff out, and I'm making people laugh in the UK. I'm like, whoa. And so then it's like, for me, is more.
Man, I wanna talk to you a minute about that, because there's something really important there that would be easy to kind of gloss over, and that's something unique to virtual reality. And because it's total immersion, when people engage, they engage in such a deep level. It's not that you come across or you meet somebody, it's that you meet somebody and then you research their YouTube channels, you look at the content that they've published, and you really engage deeply. I did some math the other day. Actually, yesterday I was in a meeting with some kind of heavy hitters, and I was preparing for that meeting and trying to pull into reference some of the stuff that's happening in the Soapstone. And we just surpassed 120,000 hours of engagement in the Soapstone.
Amazing.
And that number in and of itself, like it's impressive, it's big, but I mean, what does that mean? So I tried to equate it to like full TikTok views. And 120,000 hours, you multiply that by 60, and then you get the number of minutes, the number of minutes, and then you multiply that by 60 again, and you get the number of seconds, and then you divide it by 7 to get like 7-second TikTok views. And it's equivalent to 63 million views that we've had in the Soapstone. But it's not dollar for dollar equivalent. It's much more, because instead of somebody being distracted scrolling through a two-dimensional screen, they're totally immersed. So it's amazing.
And fun fact, that million number you've just you calculated is the population of the UK alone. Just to throw out the fun fact.
And that's wild to think about. That's the population of the UK, and to reach that many, and then or the equivalent of that many people, it's amazing. And we are still very much in the beginning steps of this. What Meta is talking about is bringing 1 billion people into the platform, and they're not talking about that loosely. It's it's a big deal. All right, back at it. I just had to get in there.
More than jokes. It's like, man, how can I impact somebody's lives? And even if I never impact your life, the fact that you and I are connecting, and now you're impacting my life, which says like, man, it's a huge like win-win, because I've given my talent to you. Now you're using your light and encouraging me, man. It's pretty amazing.
Something that I remember when we were talking, there's something I said that stuck in my mind, and it was a heat of the moment conversation we were having, and I came up with the phrase 2 countries, 1 community. And we are 2 countries very far apart. Dude. And I come on here and you guys are like the friends I grew up in the same street with. Like, I'd play ball with them, I'd have jokes with them, and I get to do all that, and you guys are thousands of miles away. And it feels like we're in one space, and that's why I love it. And it's great. And like I said, I've watched your stand up. I've watched or listened to Aaron's podcast as well. We're communicating. You told me the specific one you're on. I loved it. Absolutely great.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, damn, I would never have found these if I never joined this place. So I'm grateful for both of you for that. Like, it's amazing.
You add an incredible amount of value, man. Like,
thank you.
You bring so much to this space. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier in our first segment. It's, man, you've got three humans here, and the reality is, man, God has blessed us with this human connection, and we add so much value to each other. Now, dude, I really can't imagine my life now without the investment or the value that you've made into my life, man. It's like God has allowed me to see even more of the value that he's placed inside of us through our connection.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Good stuff.
One thing that I've seen with you, Kyle, is that, and that picked up in conversations, is that even in the midst of like the metaverse, you've mentioned to me like how like you've taken some stuff to your job, just some stuff some value that you've gotten out of here into your job. Can you talk about real quick how has the value that you've received in the metaverse impacted your actual physical job that you do in the UK?
Definitely, yeah, no, it's added great value. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm actually a teacher in real life. My day-to-day job is to teach anybody from a young age to an age where they're set for retirement, and I'm there to help people. But I thought at this stage there was nothing more for me to learn until I joined here again, and I think the main thing I walked away with was diversity and being diverse and learning people's cultures and understanding how different people work. And it wasn't long ago that I actually took a course because of being on here I took a course of understanding autism more, because I realized there's a lot of autistic people in the metaverse, and I'm now proud to say I'm a fully qualified teacher that knows or understands autism, not just online, but within the metaverse. And honestly, if you guys ever get the opportunity to take a course like that, snap it up. It's autism is let's say it's huge in multiple countries. In some countries, it's very undiagnosed, but it's good to understand if somebody has even if they're an ounce on the spectrum, we can help them. So for me, it's helped me understand what I need to do to become better as a person in the metaverse, but also as a teacher in real life. And within the last, say, 2 months, I've become, let's say, a top teacher. I've been called by many of my students, and they want me back every time, and some people want to connect with me after they've graduated. And
we'll take a quick break. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with some questions from our live audience here. Appreciate y'all. Let's go.
All right. Man, good stuff. Yeah, Chester says, by the way, shout out to you, Chester. It's good to see your face. We got to get you back in the metaverse here too, performing. Get you on stage where you belong, man. Good stuff. He says, hey, man, that's what I do in my day job, college students with disabilities. And it's one of the fastest growing populations I work with when I'm not doing stand-up. He's very good at stand-up, and I'm sure he's good at that. Cal, can you tell me a little bit more about that role and how that's playing out?
Yeah, so it's a role that I didn't ever expect me to get into, and I'm an online teacher, so I teach from home to it could be a class of 16 to 20 people, and it's behind the screen. It's similar to Horizon in a way, where you're connecting with people, could be around the world, but in my case it is in the UK, and it's so diverse, but you don't see what that other person's going through, what disabilities they have, unless they disclose them. So it's good to just to have the knowledge. So if somebody does come up and say, hey, I'm autistic, you know how to deal with them, and you can prevent, should we say, or safeguard that person from any bullying if that was going to be the case. And I've only been doing the job for a little over a year now, and I tell you what, one of the best and most satisfying jobs I've ever had. And there's a phrase that I say, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And I apply it everywhere, not just my teaching, to my friendship, to the communities I work within. It's an all-round quote, and I believe Helen Keller might have said that. So I have stolen it.
Man, so your heart just shines through so clearly in what you're talking about, and that passion for helping people, that passion for connecting with people, dude, that is spectacular. You know, who you are is someone who's just so incredibly important and so incredibly giving. And I consider us very blessed to have you a part of the Soapstone culture and community and leadership, dude. You're awesome. Are you tearing up?
No, it's
Dang it, man.
You're trying to get me.
Yeah. You know, if I can make somebody laugh, that's great. But man, if I can make somebody cry,
more to follow.
yeah, dude, yeah. But in all seriousness, man, you are awesome, and more of your heart shines through when we get into the Q&A section, which is actually next up. Should we just jump right into it?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, you ready, Jay?
Go. Okay.
Yeah,
Go.
Get it, trainer. Go trainer.
Go.
Go trainer. All right. I was just about to say it's your birthday, but
it could be, but it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. All right. So, man, I'm glad you're here to help us answer some questions here. Let's take some questions from the audience, shall we?
All right.
Yeah.
TrainerCal, what's up, man? Wow, this is impressive. Let's go.
Oh, I just want to ask a question. Is that for your special guest this week, if that's okay? How do you get so good looking, man? How do you get so good looking? I can take that question if you wish.
Yeah. Why don't I think you need to field that one.
Yeah, I do. Well, the true secret behind it, beautiful man that asked the question, was is a skincare routine in the metaverse. So, in my apartment, I don't know if you guys have got one, but I've got a vanity mirror that I look after myself. So yeah, the rest of it's natural. I thank my mum and dad for that. Yeah.
Although I don't think he was talking to you, was he? Or was he talking?
Oh man, that was so fun. Boy, for a minute there, we saw 3 TrainerCals on the screen at almost the same time. That's can you be in more than one place at once? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sensei.
Right. Thank you, Sensei Jay. Yeah, that's a good shout out. You know, I love it. Because every week you have asked a question, and we're like, man, how do we get you to still ask a question? And through the miracles of editing, big shout out to Sensei Jay and Film Sensei Productions. Man, that was cool. That was a lot of fun to have you ask a question. And might I say, you were very encouraging to the person answering the question.
Thank you.
All right, back at it.
To Jason, how do you
listen? Well,
you might be right.
Well, no. I won't take. I won't take. You know, I won't take that. I'll put it back on you. But to answer your question, TrainerCal, it's kind of like this old nursery rhyme. Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't. Like he actually could be doing a lot better, but it's difficult. But it takes a lot of engineers. It takes a guy by the name of Mark Z, and a whole bunch of other people, just to come up with this skincare routine.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, good stuff. So thank you, TrainerCal, for that question. Great question.
Appreciate
I'll be back next week.
All right.
You're working hard.
All right, and now we can open it up to anybody else in the audience who has a question. McClark, you got a question? Come on up.
Hello, everybody. Oh, hi. Actually, my question, it wasn't really kind of a question. It was more about, I would like to your guys' permission to add on to what, or to piggyback off of what you guys said earlier about checking in on people. Is that okay?
Yeah,
to do that,
please
or?
do.
Yeah,
please do. Yeah.
Okay. My great grandma passed away June 26th. And literally, I just wanted to say the outpour that I got. I'm trying to fight back, but the outpour that I got from you guys and people in the metaverse was truly worth turning this headset on. Like,
wow,
literally,
man.
it was more than, it was like, you guys, like, people come up to me in the Soapstone and ask me how my grandma was during the time that I had my Oculus while she was alive. And it was great because, like, my own friends in my real life didn't even call me, so I just wanted to piggyback off that and say I appreciate you, Aaron. I appreciate you, Jason and Trainer. Thank you for the times we hung out in the Soapstone. I had a lot of fun with you, man.
Man, I'm so glad that you found that at the Soapstone and here in Horizon World.
It's
and
my
virtual
second
reality.
home. It's my home away from home, man.
It's so important, and that's really what we want, is for people to connect together and be able to support each other, show love towards each other, and all that, man. You're so important, and you're such a big part of the community. I appreciate you, man.
Literally, just the experience and just everything has been a blessing, and to feel, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one that, to make a joke, obviously, but I'm not the only one. I don't know if I'm the only one that's ever showered before you came into the Soapstone. Anybody else?
I mean, like,
I haven't showered since December. Like,
but no, I just wanted to come up here and say thank you guys, thank all you guys. I'm not trying to put everybody's names out there that's been there for me, but you guys know who you are.
Super
Lolly
cool.
is a big one that's been there. Much love to Lolly.
Yeah, Lolly's
all right,
awesome.
I'm gonna go.
Thanks,
back
McClark. Appreciate you
wait,
so much,
man.
man.
I just want to say thanks, man, because our goal, really, and my goal in particular in Jason Earls Production, this world, is make you feel so much at home that you don't have to take your shoes off when you come in here. So thanks, man. You left the shoes.
Thank you.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right,
Leave
thanks,
your
McClark.
shoes on, man.
All right, who's got a question? Mr. Victor? Yeah, come on
What's up, Vic?
In the last 6 months since I've been in Horizon Worlds building as a world creator, a lot has changed. And now that I'm sure everyone has the home, and the home world.
Yeah.
I'm homeless, bro. I have no idea what I heard about it, but I'm still. So I'm just a panhandler, brother, right now.
In my house, there's a soapstone door. And congrats on all the latest press. That's a big deal to be featured in even in venues in the home, right?
Yeah.
And my question is for Unemployed Alcoholic is, with all the recent success, are you going to become the employed alcoholic?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. Yeah, I've joked that I need to replace my name with the overly employed, super busy, but not with a grown-up job recovering alcoholic who's 5 years sober. .com.
Yes, that would be a good name. That's a good name, man. And I want to see you change your name. I want to see you change your name, man. So I'm glad you thought about that already, because every time people.
So in all seriousness, though, I keep this name because, like, it came from a place of pain. I went through a period where I was battling alcoholism, and I was going through a season of unemployment. And that really messed with my identity. And you know what? By having this as my identity, I can take some of the stigma off of those challenges, and it opens up conversations with people. So even though I'm super busy, even though I'm starting to generate some money, even though I'm 5 years sober, coming up on 6 years sobriety, even though these things are there, I still like to be known as the unemployed alcoholic, because it brings light to some of those things that need to be addressed, and it takes away some of the stigma. So thank you, Mr. Victor.
Okay, And now that I'm up here, I got another question actually. So Gutties was a real business in real life, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And now you had to change the name because it got so popular. And what was it? Was it a copyright thing? Was it a trademark thing?
Yeah. So in the MetaVersed podcast, Jason and I get into that in like episode 3 or 4 or something like that. But we're still good friends with the brick and mortar owners of Gutties. They have a location in the metaverse called Gutties. What it boils down to is we started working together and we decided not to work together anymore.
But
it's really that simple.
But do you think the business owners feel any type of way now that you've seen so much success? You're in venues now, you got thousands of likes. You have a featured world in.
Yeah,
in the
I wouldn't.
home of
I
this
wouldn't.
thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't presume to speak for them on that. Yeah.
Right.
But
I would let
how something.
I have a.
Yeah.
And you said episode 3.
Not the name.
You said you guys talked about episode 3. What episode is this?
This is season 2, episode 5, I think.
Boom!
Wow.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And that and
Thanks,
Mr. Victor, I would say I would encourage you to go back.
Hey, I just saw this this comment come in, and Sarah, I just want to say that I'm sorry for your loss, and I thank you for sharing this. It is by talking about our struggles and talking about our hurts that we can reach other people, and I have no doubt that you sharing this is impactful and meaningful to the people watching and to me. So thank you for who you are, and thank you for sharing your heart about your loss. So,
amen. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
And look at like day one. In fact, because I was just looking at the first episode and talking about like, man, like we didn't know where this journey was going to take us. We had no clue in episode 1 that we would be filming the next season's episode inside the metaverse. We had no clue, bro.
That's right.
And a lot of the success that you're seeing with Aaron and the Soapstone came from some of those conversations that we were having in real time on the podcast. So check it out.
And so it's a channel.
That
channel
is,
the Well Metaverse.
I would
YouTube
encourage
channel?
anybody. Yeah, I would encourage anybody to go back to the beginning and start listening through to the Metaverse podcast. Like we literally, Jason and I literally talk every week, real time, about our strategy and about what's happening in the metaverse, the good, the bad, the things that we're struggling with, all of those things. And it turns out that we were on a heck of a ride, a heck of a journey. All right,
Jules has another question. Any other questions?
Malcolm Z?
This is my first time actually watching the MetaVerse podcast, so I'm not familiar with TrainerCal's regular questioning and stuff. I'm honestly curious what the relationship is like. What TrainerCal? You mentioned all the value that he brings, and I just wonder if there are a few things like top of your mind, maybe unemployed alcoholic. Or at TrainerCal, whoever, just...
I'll let you go first. I'll give you $10 later.
Unemployed alcoholic, sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that question. Like, how does he add value? What does he do?
Right.
Yeah, so actually going back to another episode of the Metaverse podcast, when Jason and I were talking about how we select people that we're going to work with. And the first thing is heart. We want to know where someone's heart is. If they're passionate about what we're trying to do at the Soapstone, if they're involved, if they're engaged. And that was the first thing about TrainerCal. Like he said, he popped in once and he was like, I don't know, I'll come back. And then as soon as he came back, he's like, this resonates with me. I can be part of this. I can do something.
Right.
So that heart of involvement, that heart of giving back, Zach, the artist, is in the audience here. He's a good example of this too. Like this dude has given in the Soapstone. He's just got this heart to do big stuff, So it starts with the heart, and then where it goes after that, depends on opportunity and need.
Sure.
Cal, does that answer your question, Malcolm?
Just good vibes, more or less. Just like the
that's
vibes.
right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, my editor would cut that down to just say good vibes, man.
Excellent. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything to that, Trainer?
Like I said earlier, connections. The connections are what brought me back.
For sure.
Despite the time difference we have, like for me right now, it's coming up to 5 o'clock. It's nearly time for me to have my dinner. For you guys, it's turning midday, on the east side, and it is difficult. It really is. Like I come in the morning and I get the drunk leftovers from the night before.
Malcolm, thank you very much for your question. We got time for one more quick question if somebody else wants to jump up here, and then we got a special treat. I think we got a special treat. Do we got a special treat? Okay,
I think
we got a question over here. Do we got a question?
All right,
we got a question over here.
Well, I was gonna say, well, just like you said, I'm always escaped from everything, but I saw you yesterday when you were talking to Lolly and how she was training you. I saw how involved in Soapstone comedy and everything else. But my main thing I had in my head over there, now I'm forgetting, I'm getting old. Being part of the VR community from the UK, being very into virtual reality, into the gaming world, and in the beginning we'll get on PlayStation, we meet friends. I remember where it used to be kind of weird back in the day. They won't know I'm a black guy playing World of Warcraft, but they didn't care because we all became family. Now, being on VR in the UK, mixing with the United States, soon with Mexico, a lot of people using VPNs. How do you feel now being able to kind of step out of the box of the UK and actually just, if I travel to the UK in person, I feel like this is how I would feel with you in VR. Now, how do you feel being here yourself, inside you emotionally, when you can connect with everybody?
I think that's actually a fantastic question, by the way. It really is. And honestly, you're right. It takes me back to when I was younger and I was first introduced to this thing called the internet, where I'd join online with people from the United States, from Canada, Mexico, Russia, anywhere around the country. And I think, luckily for me, I've learned to accept everyone globally for who they are, no matter their race, their gender, how they identify. Everyone is acceptable. And for me, that's now evolved into my adult life, and I'm accepting of everyone. And I tell you what, it brings me that spark I had when I was younger, and I love coming on to see you guys. Yeah,
I knew you felt that way, because I felt that way too when I got on. Like, I got everybody now.
Yeah.
Now it's just like now we're brains. We're just brains now talking. We don't even have your brain's pink, mine is too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The conception of VR is awesome. But I'm glad to just ask you that question, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
No, thank you. And to add to that, if you don't mind, if you've just got 2 seconds, I want to give a massive thank you to 2 special people outside in the audience, Kaloma and Lolly D. Kaloma's he's been like a friend I've always needed, and he's given me advice of places where to visit in the US. He's like a US ambassador for you guys. Like, he's been amazing, and I can't praise that guy enough. Like, he deserves more. He's amazing. And as for Lolly up there, Lolly.
Wait, before you go to Lolly.
Oh yes.
I just want to add to Kaloma, because, man, he showed some genuine concern for me when I mentioned my wife getting bit by a spider. He came, pulled me aside, and started going through a checklist of things that I need to make sure to do so that my wife is safe. This dude made me a better husband in the metaverse, bro, in real world.
Yeah. Amen. Absolutely. And the same for Lolly. She's like, I call her my VR mum, if anything. She is the mother figure we all need.
Yes.
And Lolly, I know, we have these wonderful conversations, and I tell you what, sometimes I leave my VR headset happier than I ever came on, and I don't even know how that's possible some days. And you really, you've got a space in my heart all the time. So thank you for everything you do. You're amazing.
Yes.
Super cool.
That's
well, man, this has been so fun. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
Because I just want to say this too, man. I saw everybody wanted to kick some little kids out of the world. And I saw Lolly graciously talk to a kid who was being a troll, and she loved the troll out of a kid. I was like, what in the world?
She loved the troll out of the kid. Yeah.
She's straight up
awesome.
Jedi. She is straight up mom in the metaverse.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's close us out. Actually, we always close us out with song, and today our musical guest is indeed TrainerCal. So, Trainer, we'll let you bring it home.
Before we get into our musical guests, and close out the show with that, man, I didn't realize how much of a burden you put on your shoulders for this show. This is the TrainerCal show featuring MetaVersed. Incredible, dude. Well, once again, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you, your involvement, your heart, who you are as a person. It's just absolutely incredible. And once again, dude, you just add so much to the culture and the community at the Soapstone. Thanks for being who you are, my friend.
No, thank you. Yeah. Like I say, I wouldn't be around if it weren't for the Soapstone and the place you decided to come up with. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, we wouldn't be here now today. Well, we would be here, but not here, if you know what I mean. But
right, yeah.
I appreciate it, and there's some good things to come. There are some good things to come for sure.
Here, for sure. All right, well, I'm going to hit play on this, and you're going to take us home with some song.
Apologies in advance.
And
Thank you.
And we'll just say to everybody, thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been a wonderful experience. Check it out on Tuesday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern for the replay with live questions and answers from me and Jason.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Come on, everybody. Get everyone to the front. Put your hands in the air. Come on, everybody. Woo. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I blossom on a tree. You know how I feel.
Get it.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Hey, thank y'all, everybody. Keep singing, keep jamming.
Fly out in the sun.
Yeah, thank y'all.
You know
see y'all
what
next
I
time.
mean, don't you
Well,
know?
Metaverse.
Butterflies are having fun. You know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done. That's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, is a bold world for me.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. We will be back next week with a brand new episode, and you can always find us at jasonearls.com, theunemployedalcoholic.com, or at the Soapstone Comedy Club in Horizon Worlds.